Loblaw is warning consumers prices will likely surge on most tariff-hit food items. The company says it limited the number of items affected by tariffs since the trade war started, but as its pre-tariff inventory starts to run low, that number could surge in coming weeks. For a closer look at these price increases, I'm joined this morning by Bruce Winter, retail expert. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me on, Anne-Marie.
All right, so Loblaw is warning there's going to be price increases coming to as many as 3,000 to 6,000 items in the coming weeks. I think everybody's wondering what's going to be affected. So can you walk through some of these items for us?
Yeah, I think we're at the stage now where some of the packaged goods items are going to be affected. So, you know, the produce and the vegetables was probably affected right away because you can't inventory those kind of products. But yeah. Loblaw, like other grocers, inventoried a number of packaged goods, sort of the stuff in the middle of the grocer. And the inventory is depleted now. So the new shipments coming in are going to be subject to some of the countermeasures, the counter tariffs the Canadian government put in place. And that's where you're going to see some of the increases.
And that, I'm just thinking things like cereals, boxed pastas, soups, things like that.
Yeah, things like that, health and beauty aids, you know, those kind of products.
How much of an increase are we talking about?
It's hard to really know. I mean, technically, you know, the product increase is going to be 25% from a cost perspective. Obviously, Loblaw and other folks are going to try to negotiate with suppliers. The other thing that Loblaw has done and others have done is try to change source to buy from Canadian to avoid this scenario, or buy from other countries outside the U.S. to avoid this scenario. But there are some items you just can't get from other spots.
Well, last month, Loblaw released its annual food inflation report, and in it, it showed a price increase on things like meat, pork, meat, pork, chicken, and beef, plus there was coffee on that list, eggs, and nuts. How much of that increase is because of the trade war?
Not really. It's not really related to that as far as I know. Each of those industries has sort of a unique situation that usually involves supply and demand. And there could be everything from, you know, geopolitical issues to weather patterns that have maybe tightened up supply, right? So each category has its own story. But really, I think what we're seeing now over the next several weeks are going to be the real change caused by the countermeasures the government's put in place.
Obviously, Loblaw isn't the only chain that sells groceries in this country. So should we expect to see other grocery stores raise their prices around the same time and by the same amount?
I would expect so. You know, I think that all the grocers are in the same boat. It's really an industry issue because you're importing the same kind of product from the U.S., right? So it's going to be probably across the board with all grocers.
And it just leads to more tough decisions for families of what to put in the cart and what to leave on the shelf. You know, if people are thinking ahead, they're trying to plan ahead, they've got summer coming up, when can we expect to see the full effect of tariffs on food items?
It sounds like over the next several weeks is going to, you know, several weeks, several months. That assumes that things don't escalate further, right? Which they could. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully President or Prime Minister Carney has a meeting with Prime Minister Trump and negotiates something in the next few weeks. But, you know, we're probably going to see sort of a steady state here in the next, you know, month or two in terms of what prices is going to look like. And I think some retailers like Loblaw have tried to give consumers a choice by using a T to show which items are affected so that they can try to maneuver around the increased priced items.
Obviously, Bruce, you follow this closely. You were expecting price increases to come because you can't, you know, put tariffs on something and then not change the price and still survive as a business. But what are you watching for in the next couple of weeks?
I'm really watching for the consumer reaction. I'm really on social media and in the media. I'm also watching for how the grocers respond to this and how they signal it, what tools they use to communicate with consumers. I mean, Loblaw's has been pretty transparent about it, which is good. Looking to see if other folks are going to be transparent about what's happening too.
Bruce Winter, retail expert, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Take care.
Yeah, you. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.